Today on the show, we have the very wonderful Trevor Wales. We are in conversation today with Trevor Wales, a very good friend of mine personally I've known for many, many years. Trevor, welcome to the show on the Cornwall channel.
Thank you, Shane. Lovely to be here again.
So Trevor, we've got over 23,000 followers now on our Facebook page, a few more than when we first met on the Cornwall channel way back when. So how can you help our viewers, certainly during what's going on in the world right now, Trevor?
Well, if we just focus on what's going on right now, there's an awful lot of things like anxiety and worries and stress and just sort of various elements, with some people feeling that lonely and isolated, cooped up, not being able to get out and do the things that they want. And it's about being able to help people manage those feelings and finding ways to sort of let go of that feeling and sort of keep it under control and look for better times and know that there's going to be a resolution at the end of it all. That I'm sure that any positive person will realise that we're not far off this pandemic being over, and then we can all get on with our lives. Now, one thing I do know from talking to other therapists, we believe that whilst a lot of people will have got through this and they'll go back to their normal lives, what tends to happen is stuff tends to come up and unfold after the event. So there's going to be a very large outpouring where people will need that kind of help because it's been there in the background, When people can come forward and start working with it now, they've got a much better chance of recovery. So this is where I come in, when I've got people coming to see me for various different issues, which they're contending with. And certainly stress, anxiety, worry, financial issues, relationship issues, because when you've got people living together in a very close bubble for months on end, not going out, seeing anybody else, tensions can come to the surface. And it's helping people navigate that and finding that common ground and diffusing it.
Now, you're based in St Austell, is that right?
I am indeed, yes.
So people can come to you, they can go online and see you as well?
They can indeed, and since I started my practice in 2011, working online has been a very, very big part of my business. In the last couple of weeks, I've just finished sessions where I've been working with, for example, weight management clients up country. I've had people from business backgrounds that I've been working with, just helping them sort of get their business strategy and their mindset together, motivation, that sort of thing, So online, I think is going to be the way forward for the foreseeable future. And of course, it opens up so much more potential possibilities. I've worked with clients in Australia, America, Middle East.
All over.
Yes.
Now, I think it's a good time in the world for people to be okay in asking for help, for therapy. I think in years gone by, there's been that stigma that, you can't ask for help and you have to, suffer alone. Now there's this whole thing, and the whole mental health industry now, I say industry, is, had a big push behind it to say, it's okay to ask for help.
Absolutely, yes. And I mean, we've got key people in the world of entertainment that have come forward and said, look, I've dealt with this for years. People that you would never imagine. And that's good that they're talking about it, because actually it lets the ordinary man in the street know that, look, you've got people up there that are maybe perhaps multimillionaires that have got their issues and that they're seeking out help. The thing is, if we don't talk about these things, they fester, and sooner or later they're going to come out. So talking about it, and the way that I help people working in the field of therapy that I do, it allows a far more effective and permanent shift and change of mind, because we're working at the unconscious levels rather than at the conscious levels. So we're helping to create change. Really, you could think on the sort of hard drive of the mind, where all the programs go, where they react to triggers, And of course, the way the brain works, those triggers pop up before we're even really aware that they're there.
Sure.
So working in that way, we can help people to create shifts. And before this pandemic, I've been helping people with issues like needle phobia, fears of going to the dentist. One of my best clients, who's always been very vocal about what they've achieved, every time she went to the dentist, she'd send me a message telling me what happened, what she'd done, which was fantastic. And I've helped people with weight problems, where they've been stuck and they're yo-yo dieting. They lose a bit and then they go back to it.
That's
but we
a bit like me.
work with the fundamentals,
Yeah.
their belief structure and what they want, and we really drill down with that. So, the way that we work as therapists use a lot of different tools. So, I don't call myself, in the traditional term, the hypnotherapist that I used to.
That's right, because that's how I got to know you first of all, as Trevor Wales Hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
But now we've got BWRT, right? So
Yes.
talk to me about that.
Well, BWRT has been around since 2014, and its early days was very, very interesting.
I'm
because
sorry to interrupt, but what does it stand for those
I
watching?
beg your pardon. Sorry, BWRT stands for Brain Working Recursive Therapy. And when it was first launched, I was looking at this thinking, what on earth does recursive mean? So, the chap who developed it explained recursive is to do with mathematics and computers, and it's a repetition of some numerous sequence or a formula. So, what did that mean? None of us had any idea. But in actual fact, the way that we work, solicits a shift in change, because we're invoking a state using a rapid change of sort of structured words and sentences, where maybe the conscious mind can't catch on to it, but we're getting people to remember what it was they want to change and they were fearful of, and then getting them to decide how they want to feel. So the difference is with hypnotherapy, it's the slow burn. You record it onto a CD, you say, take this away, listen to it over and over again, and maybe within 6 to 8 weeks, if they do it, as they're asked to do,
Sure.
they may start to find that they are beginning to notice shifts and changes. With BWRT, what tends to happen is those people can come into your session and they feel that change there and then.
Wow.
There's a gap, a tiny gap between the energy happening in the brain and sort of the realization, and we work within that gap to create that change. So the person who might have a fear of injections, they may feel like their legs are turned to jelly, they're feeling all tight in their chest, and by the time we've finished working and we say, right, how does that feel now when you think of that old memory? More often than not, they're beaming with delight and they're laughing, and that's fantastic. And the thing is, it's so permanent. Now, the reason we know it's permanent, when it was first developed, one of the research partners was a director of a hospital in Cape Town, South Africa, and it's huge out there. And when you think of all the sort of issues and trauma that people have dealt with out there, they knew that they had a success rate of over 95%. And what's more is they knew, because they had regular checkups yearly, that those people were still in remission 4 years later. That's the magic of it.
That's amazing.
It is. And the other therapy that I work with, hypnotherapy, it's still a very important part of my job. I had a lovely encounter yesterday in the car park in town, where somebody called my name, and I spun around and I didn't recognise the person for all the right reasons, because they were looking so fantastic. She told me her name, and
which we can't say right now.
No. Well, we'll call her Barbara or
Okay.
Doris.
Yeah.
And I said, "Wow, you look amazing," and she said, "Yeah, it's because of you and what you did." And that was a package called Slim Via Hypnosis, which was a consultation and 4 sessions. And the key, she said, I never stopped listening to the CDs. I still listen to them every day. And that mirrors another fantastic client that I've had, who's on my gastric band hypnotherapy page. And I worked with her right at the very outset. Her photograph's there, her name's there. And she said in a recent post to me, the hypnosis is with me always. So when people invest in themselves, they make that commitment, they can get that change.
Indeed.
And
Well,
it can work over so many different levels, even in the corporate world, you know, and we need that more than ever now, you know, with all the things that are going on, stress management, time management, and, you know, interdepartmental relationships and all of that. And this is where we can help.
well, this is what I'm excited about having you on the show, because there will be our viewers watching us now, you out there watching, thinking, I'd love to speak to Trevor. I'd love to have, you know, a couple of minutes with him or an hour. How does it work, Trevor? Do they kind of just get in touch first and foremost to book a consultation?
Yeah, I'm a very easy and approachable person to get hold of. Right from day one, I've probably always gone that little bit further than maybe I should have done, because I felt it was the right thing to give people time. So I make 30 minutes of my time available. It's discreet and confidential. There's no obligation. All they need to do is they can email me through my website, they can send me a text or phone me. And if they prefer to come and see me in my office, we can do the consultation there.
Sure.
And then if they say, yeah, really want to take that further, then we go into a full fact-finding consultation where, you know, we go through an exhaustive history of how their life is, the things maybe that they don't know about that sort of get thrown up. They go, oh yeah, eureka moment. And we know that we need to help them through that
Yeah.
because it's part of the problem. So we work root and branch.
So what's the best way for people to get hold of you? We'll make sure that all the details are on the screen here now, but if you just want to shout the obvious ones out.
Well, the obvious ones for me is I've always got my mobile phone on with me. And, you know, I work a regular day. I'm available from 9 o'clock in the morning till sort of 5 or 6 in the evening. And even if people text me late at night, I'll get back to them the following morning. And so, you know, the best way is through my cell phone number. Shall I say it here now?
If you know it, then
Yeah,
say it.
okay,
Please
it's
do.
07740 190 261.
Superb.
Okay.
And then obviously website, social media, you're on social
I'm
media.
on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, although I don't use Twitter a great deal. But Facebook for me has always been, you know, where you'll find me. I've even got an Instagram account.
He's down with the kids, old Trevor, you know, he's down there.
Try to, yeah. I'm sort of like trying to get my head around whether TikTok's the way to go.
I can just see
I'm
you
not sure.
dance into a therapy. You know.
No, I don't do stuff like that, but I can help people to dance and have the
Sure.
confidence to do that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Confidence is a very big part of my business. And, you know, I've had people that have come to me that have had business presentations to do. You know, even people in education that have found it difficult. They've got to talk to, you know, parents and that sort of thing. You know, and it's amazing. And you'll remember that you had a member of staff who worked for you that I helped with confidence, with being in front of birds.
True.
And we did a video down in, what's the name of that place? Down in near Penzance, was it? Paradise Bird Park.
That's right.
In Helston.
Yes, yes.
And we did a video where
That's right.
he was stood behind a major macaw, and that's something he could never have done.
That's right,
Sadly, we couldn't use that one because there was too much light bleeding through.
That's right.
But the one that's on my website is the parakeets in the
There
cage.
you go. Trevor, now you have some fantastic reviews out there and some great listings.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on my hypnotherapy website, I stopped putting my testimonials on there because there were so many of them, but I've got them all going back from when I first started, and I've had some wonderful, you know, reviews. But probably for me, the most powerful of the lot is I've got a My Local Services listing, which is very personal to me because I've got 13 5-star reviews across a very wide spectrum of things that I've helped people with. You know, with all sorts of different issues, and that's fantastic because these reviews can only be left by the people that I've worked with. It's not as if you could go in there and create your own review. So these are genuine reviews. I've even had video testimonial as well. I'm also a trainer for therapy, and one of my students left me a glowing review last year. So yeah, I love it that you've got that platform where people can see, you know, other people's levels of satisfaction and, you know, maybe get a sense of some of the things that they've dealt with. Because on those reviews, some people talk about it. And I did actually have one chap who had a very personal problem where he'd had shy bladder for years, and he was really so open about it because he realised it's a major health problem that thousands and thousands of people have, and if you Google it, it will tell you it's quite complex to treat and it's got potentially, bad, outcomes if it's left untreated. And simple things like he'd go on a train commute or a flight across to America for business, and he'd be sat there and he could not go to the loo. Took us a while to get there, but we did, and I got a fantastic route. It's very long, but it can be useful to help people know the sort of stuff that you can deal with. So yeah, I love having that platform.
So if you're watching this now and thinking, I need help with any of the things that Trevor has mentioned, then please get in touch with Trevor. But one thing I do want to just touch on is everything that's happened in the world in 2020, how you can help people out there who might be struggling. Can you help people that are struggling with everything that's happened with COVID-19? And I hate to mention the word because there's so much being talked about, but it is important. And
absolutely,
it's affecting a lot of people in different ways, even people like me on a personal level, who is quite positive with life, glass is always half full, but it's even tried me. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's tried us all, and I think if there's one thing that I gained from this right at the early outset was to keep busy, to keep positive, and to accept that we're only human beings with our emotions and we'll have our up days and down days. But using the skills of hypnosis and BWRT, more so with hypnosis because you can teach people self-hypnosis. And there's another little therapy that I can talk about another time called EFT, the tapping therapy. And these things can help people self-manage. So once you give people the building blocks to learn that skill so that they can actually utilise it for themselves, that empowers them. Now, I'd like to just mention that on my business, Trevor Wales Hypnotherapy Solutions Facebook page, right from day one, there's been pinned to the top of it an MP3 link to my YouTube channel where there is a specific COVID-related anxiety management hypnosis. That was my gift to the world to say, I want to help. And I'm also offering on a Monday morning until the middle of December 5 free appointment slots, first come, first served.
Amazing.
And then those people who I select, and it's really just to do with COVID and anxiety, they can claim 3 free appointments. It's my way of helping people.
Well, what a gift, Trevor. What a gift.
My pleasure. I've had lots of help from fellow colleagues and people in the past before, and if we've learned anything, it's that paying it forward and helping each other is the only way we're going to get around this, because this thing is huge, isn't it? Really?
It's in giving that we receive, right? I mean, it's been, I'm not a religious man, but it's been in the Bible, reap what you sow, for many years.
If you just take what's been happening, that news about where the research came from that's developing the vaccine, if I got this right, it's a husband and wife billionaire team who put that money into this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fantastic.
It's one of those ones where I think we all need to work together because this is unprecedented times. I know the word's been used a lot, but it really is. We haven't faced anything like this before.
No.
So, well, Trevor, it's been great to have you in there today. Now, I encourage any of you watching this to make contact with Trevor. If you don't need him right now, follow his page, give him a share, give him a like, because there might be that friend out there who needs his help. Now, is there anything else, Trevor, I've not mentioned that you'd like to get across to our viewers?
There's one very important thing, which is very personal to me. As you know, because we've had loads of chats about this, I used to smoke 60 a day, and I haven't smoked since 1999. I didn't use hypnosis to give that up, but I understand why it happened now, because of it's on my quit smoking page. People can read about it there. But I have been a registrant of the Central Register of Stop Smoking Therapists since 2011, and I've helped lots of people give up smoking, both face to face and online, and people who've been smoking for donkey's years. My most recent client is in their late 60s, early 70s, been smoking for 50 years. Yeah, beaten it.
And of course, when this is being filmed, it's the 1st of December. So we are literally coming up for the Christmas time,
Yeah.
the start of a new year, where everyone really kind of focuses their attention on giving up something they're
Yeah,
not happy about.
absolutely.
So quit smoking,
Yes.
losing that weight, soon after Christmas. So now probably is that best time to
Yeah.
save Trevor's details. So Trevor, thank you so much for coming in. It's an absolute pleasure to catch up with you. Just this time with Trevor is not enough. You need to book sessions with this man. He will give you some time for 3 hours of consultation just to find out what you're looking for. But you would be doing yourself no justice at all not to book a session with Trevor if
Thank
you need
you.
it.
It's very kind of you to say that, Shane. I've always had a desire to help people. I've always been in the helping industry, and it's a natural progression from my previous career, where I spent years helping people to find their dream home entertainment system. So this is as passionate for me as it was when I was playing with hi-fi and home cinema systems. So it's part of what I do.
You're a people person, Trevor, and that's why people love you, and we really appreciate you here at the Cornwall channel. We appreciate all your support as a sponsor too, because Trevor was a sponsor with us many years ago. I'm proud as punch to say he's returned to us again, and that's why we're really, really grateful. So,
well, you did such a fantastic job of my first video, which is still on my page, and lots of therapists have gone, wow, that's absolutely fantastic. And I said, yeah, it is, isn't it? Look, the Cornwall channel did that.
Oh, bless. Well, I'm hoping now quality side by side with the kit we have now available to us, and what we've got proper lighting and everything now, Trevor. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor Wales, follow him, share it, like it, love it. Until next time, see you soon.
Thank you very much, Shane.